Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports. Pakistan have been beaten by New Zealand in the second T20 International by 21 runs. New Zealand are now 2-0 up in the series. They lead 2-0 in this 5-match series with 3 more T20s to go. Pakistan would be now heading to Dunedin on Wednesday for the third T20 International, which becomes an automatically must-win game. So I did say that we shouldn't be result-oriented, but that had a factor to it, that the condition was that you're trying maximum of new combinations that you want to do. But if you're trying only a couple of them and majority of your game planning is the same, and then I think results do matter, because New Zealand clearly outfoxed us in every department. We'll accept that. But then again, Pakistan's bowling woes continue. Still the most expensive bowling unit. We're not able to contain. This is probably the worst bowling unit that we have seen as far as leaking runs is concerned. And I don't believe on the factor that you end up with match figures of 3 wickets or 4 wickets, but when the team needed you the most in the middle overs from phase number 7 to 15, you were unable to pick wickets. That doesn't mean that you are a quality bowler. So I think we have our work cut out right now. And why does it happen every year when there is an ICC tournament? So I think that is something strange. Babar Azam continues to be the lone ranger. Strike rate is improving as well, 160 plus in the first game, 150 plus in the second game. Got another half century. Fakhar Zaman was brilliant. He's the kind of number 4 we need. Was unlucky because after his dismissal, Pakistan really had no clue. So we're still pointless. And what are we going to do in the third game now? And I mean, it is criminal if you're not having Mohammad Rizwan keep the wickets. And, Azam could have been adjusted anywhere. I still don't support that argument. But I think a lot of things are there for us to discuss and bisect the team today. Then we, of course, move on to more developments as well. The National T20 Cup for women has begun. 6 teams are participating in the tournament. The Pakistan Cricket Board has also unveiled a trophy. Always great to see the women players getting a platform, and the National T20 Cup is surely becoming more competitive with each passing year. And once again, we're going to see some good talent on display as well. So we'll, of course, give you a brief on that as well. Time now to introduce our guests. First of all, in studios, making a comeback. It's been a while, but obviously traveling is something that he's enjoyed in between. But finally back in studios, joining us is cricket analyst and cricket expert on Sports Extra, Mr. Sabir Hussain. Assalamu alaikum, Sabir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Ahmed, I'm good. Fine. Thank you.
Great to have you back. We've also been joined by a sports expert, one of our regular features here on our program, Rizwan Haider. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed.
Great to have you as well. We've also been joined by sports expert Ali Abbas. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Walaikum Ahmed. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, sir. Great to have you as well. Now, Sabir, like I said, that there are plenty of things that we will be discussing in detail as well. And of course, Rizwan and Ali are also going to comment on that. So, in the meantime, as we show you a report of what's been happening, we'll see the highlights and then we'll all talk about the arguments that we're bringing. We're highlighting our problems today, that where we think Pakistan is going wrong after this report.
New Zealand beat Pakistan by 21 runs in the second T20 International. In the 5-match series, the home team took a 2-0 lead.
Oh, that's a shot. That's gone for 6 straight down the ground. What a blow that is. Oh, flicked away. Out! Sony takes the catch. Gee, he's been good in the field tonight. He couldn't see it out of the line.
After Pakistan beat
Pakistan captain Shaheen Shah Afridi won the toss and decided to field first. The Blackcaps made 194 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in the allotted 20 overs. Finn Allen played a smoky innings of 74 runs of 41 balls. For Pakistan, Haris Rauf picked 3 wickets and Abbas Afridi got 2 wickets. In reply, Pakistan team bowled out for 173 runs in 19.3 overs. Babar Azam remained the top scorer with 66 runs. Babar Azam has played 100 T20 innings, made 32 half-centuries and 3 centuries. Virat Kohli had 33 half and 1 century in T20 International. Fakhar Zaman hit a quick 50 runs. Captain Shaheen Shah Afridi added 22 runs.
Well, it's not got away at all. And again. And again.
No other batsman could enter double figures.
Straight up. Southey's underneath it again. Takes the catch. Great piece of bowling from Milne. He's got 3.
Pakistan vice captain and wicket-keeper batsman Mohammad Rizwan set a new T20 international record for the national team. Pakistan vice captain and wicket-keeper batter Mohammad Rizwan set a T20 international record for the national team by hitting the most sixes in the T20 international format. The 31-year-old cricketer became the leading six-hitter and has now 77 sixes to his name for Pakistan in the T20 international. The wicket-keeper batsman overtook fellow Mohammad Hafiz, who is in the second on the list with 76 sixes. Adam Milne of the Kiwi team dismissed 4 players. Tim Sodhi, Ben Series and Ash Sodhi took 2 wickets each. The third match of the series will be played on January 17.
Well, there you have it. Sabah highlights the second T20 International and all that is there to discuss. Now, Sabir, first of all, this game as well, once again, I saw a repetition of the same mistakes we probably made in game 1. So, as far as that improvement phase is concerned, we're going nowhere.
We are. I mean, it's going to be, horribly wrong. I mean, most of the cricketers. I mean, I feel sorry for a couple of cricketers. They have been given lots of chances. The likes of Azam Khan, I would say, number 1 in the list, and then the Iftikhar Ahmed, the kind of role he has been given. I don't know which kind of role he has been given by the coaching staff. I mean, he has been badly struggling. Kind of experience he's having. He basically performed against minnow teams, I would say, but I mean, he badly struggles when basically team needs. I mean, we have seen the crucial role of Babar Azam. He is the individual person basically who is performing in almost in every game. But what about other 10 players? I mean, I feel sorry for a couple of paid media, I would say, journalists as well. They are basically criticizing Babar Azam's performance. I don't know why they are not criticizing likes of Rizwan, likes of Iftikhar Ahmed, Azam Khan. A couple of as far as the bowling is concerned, why they are not criticizing Usama Mir? I mean, what is the role of Saeed Ajmal? It's like Ahmed rightly said, it's a criminal to criticize Babar Azam individually. What about other players? I mean, again, there is a big confusion, I would say, as far as the coaching staff is concerned, team management is concerned, team selection is concerned. You have selected number of openers in this particular squad.
I completely agree. I agree with your argument, but I'll just say one thing. You can't be a great player in the world if you're not finishing games. That is just a small piece where I believe, because for me even, and I always say that I've played very limited amounts of cricket. I still do every week. And that is I think the most grassroots level of cricket that you can play. But even there we know that, as an individual, if you've got 50 runs off 3 overs, you'll try to play the quota of overs. For the last 2 games, it is criminal. Pakistan has not played their 20 overs. I think that's where the real difference comes. And if you've gotten to an element where you've scored 60, 70 runs, you can finish the game. Trust me, you've got the ability. You don't need to overhit. Just, find your gaps. That is something where Babar can probably now realize that his next conversion in his career should be to finish games for Pakistan. That's how you become great. But I completely agree with Sabir that the bowling is in trouble right now. A lot of batters. I even saw something on social media today that said that there is a lobby against Azam Khan. What lobby? I mean, it's there. The stats are in front of us. We don't have any lobby right now. But Rizwan, how would you highlight the second game? And I mean, like I said, that every year or every show or every 6 months, every quarter, we go back to square one once again.
I think if you look at it, it used to be one tournament every 4 years, and we would start a rebuilding phase a year before that tournament. And now, since ICC is making sure that there's a tournament almost every year, so we are rebuilding every year for that tournament in particular. But I think we need to look at the basics that have gotten wrong. For me, the basic thing is, in standard cricket, be it test match, one day or T20 cricket, you win the toss, good batting conditions, you bat first. Pakistan is not doing that. Pakistan is scared of batting first. We saw that in the T20 World Cup. We saw that in the ODI World Cup. You see, the problem is, the basic idea of cricket is, if these are good conditions, unless until you're at Headingley and there's overcast, you put the other team in, you basically bat, put runs on the board and try and defend. And that's the basic criteria for Australia, England, New Zealand as well.
South Africa
and South Africa, every team in Pakistan has been doing that till very recently. For the last 2-3 years we're seeing that. The problem with this is, in good batting conditions, if you put the opposition in, and the thing is, in one day and T20 cricket, there's always very, very good batting wickets. So you put yourself in a position where you're always chasing the game. 50% of the times you're going to win the toss, 50% of the times you're going to lose the toss. So 50% of the time when the other team wins, they're batting first, putting you under pressure. And 50% of the time that you're winning the toss, you're also putting the other team in and putting yourself in pressure. So I think we need to get out of this mentality that we are scared of batting first. We need to get out of this mentality that we are scared as to what total to put on the board, and then we can start from there. For me, this is the basic flaw I've seen in test matches, one days and ODIs, that 90% of the games we are batting second because we are scared of batting first.
And if you're an underconfident batting side of you having trouble with strike rates averages, you normally tend to bat first. You know, give your batters the exposure they need.
With a 200-run chase or 180 chase, you're always going to be, behind the 8 ball. And if you lose a couple of wickets, so it's always better to have no pressure, go bat in and put runs on the board and try and make sure that the ball is defended.
But just a small piece, Rizwan, before I go to Ali Abbas. I've been told that skippers, when their bowlers themselves tend to do that, so there is less pressure and accountability on them as compared to the second innings.
But I think Babar was doing that as a batsman. and everybody else has been.
So our romance with chasing, I think that is something that we really need to discuss, because until the year 2014, I think.
If you don't do that in bilateral series, how are you going to be successful in international cups or the World Cups or the Asian Cups?
Absolutely. I think, and like I keep on saying, that what hurts me the most is just 5 months remaining. Every time there's an ICC tournament, we've got problems all across. Ali Abbas, how would you analyze Game 2 for Pakistan losing to New Zealand by 21 runs?
I mean, it's pretty disappointing, especially after the kind of partnership Babar and Fakhr were able to build. You expected Iftikhar and Azam, or at least one of them, to just take the game to New Zealand and get maybe 25 or 8. I was listening to you and Rashid Latif the other day. You were making some really good points for Azam Khan in particular. I think making him keep the wickets is just adding more pressure onto him. I, just like you, Amar, do not buy the argument that Azam Khan cannot field, so we're going to make him keep. That's probably one of the most illogical arguments I've ever come across. But I think this T20 series has come to show that how important Shadab Khan is for the team in terms of the balance. He's a very handy batsman in T20 cricket, and he's also a very handy bowler in T20 cricket. Let's put his struggles in ODI cricket aside. Shadab Khan, inshallah, when fully fit by time for the PSL or for the England T20s we have before the World Cup, he is an asset for this particular team. And if you have Shadab Khan walking in place of Amir Jamal with maybe 40 of 18 or 42 of 18, all of a sudden you get a lot more confidence in Pakistan that maybe could be chasing it down. And I'm not too concerned, because these are New Zealand tracks where the ball is maybe bouncing a bit more than we're used to because of our fantastic pitches that we have in Pakistan. But with the World Cup being in the Caribbean, I think things are going to change a lot. And I mean, I just hope we don't exactly focus on this series and pick a team according to this series for the World Cup being in the West Indies or having maybe 3 to 4 games in the US. So two things that I think we're still missing and hopefully can happen is obviously Naseem Shah up front. This is the first time we're seeing a T20 team without Naseem Shah, because obviously he got injured in ODI cricket and we were heading into the World Cup. So we've not really felt the brunt of no Naseem Shah in T20. We're feeling it now and we realize how important it was. So it was just a matter of time. Just like ODI, we're seeing a failure in T20s because of not having Naseem Shah and a fully fit Shadab Khan. You add Naseem Shah in place of Abbas Afridi and Shadab Khan in place of Amir Jamal, right? And this is, I'm telling you, this team is winning the first 2 games because Shadab Khan is a fantastic batsman lower down the order. So upset, yes, at Shaheen Afridi, like all of your arguments are valid, but I do think that this team is going to be much, much better if Naseem and Shadab come back, which hopefully they will in another couple of months.
I completely agree. I think Shadab adds a lot to the side, and he is the only bowler who has more than 100 wickets when you talk for Pakistan in that span of T20 cricket. And if you particularly talk about over number 7 to over number 15, where Pakistan are leaking majority of runs, not taking wickets, Shadab was the only one stepping up and raising his hand there as well. But Sabir, overall, if we analyze the team and the squad as well that had been selected, like I said, we would have been not result-oriented had they been complete. Now, for example, you've lost 2 games now. If you lose another one, you lose the series. How you will be adjusting Saibzada Farhan if you want to play him? How are you going to bring in Zaman Khan? Now, I mean, you're going to put all of that pressure on unnecessary players who are trying to make a comeback to the team.
Absolutely, Saibzada Farhan, he's the basically number one, domestic player, I would say, because he's the highest run getter, I would say. Then second run getter is Yasir Ali, and third, then Mohammad Haris, the wicket keeper. But it's very unfortunate to see, you are basically forced to include couple of players in your team playing 11 likes of, again, I would say Azam Khan. And, you have, Zaman Khan, the T20 specialist bowler, again, you are not giving him a chance. Since you are building your team for the World Cup, you have a couple of series, I mean, away and also at home as well. Better to utilize those kind of players who will be the part of the World Cup squad. I mean, again, Zaman Khan, Wasim Jr. You are basically judging the players, I mean, on the performances of ODI World Cup. Then you are basically disturbing the satellite team, I would say, because you have Babar Azam, Muhammad Rizwan, again Fakhar Zaman at number 3. Then again you had a couple of more players in the middle order who are basically performing, but I mean right now they are basically nowhere near, because they are basically not sure about the players. I mean not sure about the team as well, which kind of role Mohammad Hafiz is playing, as far as team director is concerned. Again Saeed Ashmal, Usama Mir is making similar mistakes while he was playing ODIs. I mean he's bowling little bit quicker.
What if I tell you that he has been not fully fit? I won't say injured, that opens up a big debate, but I'll just say he's not fully fit even before the World Cup, and they're forcefully playing him. What if I tell you that?
Absolutely. What about the doctors? I mean, who are basically traveling along with the team? Same situation with Ibrar Ahmed. He was not fully fit. Again, he was the part of the team. He was traveling with the team as well. So I mean, there are so many loopholes as far as a coaching staff is concerned, your medical staff is concerned, and Umar Gul's role is very important. To be very honest, better to Rizwan rightly said. I mean, you have luxury to win the toss, then better to bat first. This shows you are basically putting the other team in, because you are basically defensive mindset. You are not trusting your bowling lineup. That is the main reason you are basically putting other teams to bat first. I mean again Abbas Afridi is a positive sign, I would say. Babar Azam's performance, individual performance, he's not again match winner, but again lots of criticism. But again Fakhar Zaman played really well. He should have played a couple of more balls, but again disappointment for me is Iftikhar Ahmed, Azam Khan and Mohammad Rizwan as well.
I think Fakhar played brilliantly. He's the only person who can be fluctuated anywhere in this batting lineup, and he will perform on his given day. But the fact is, he's got to realize that his role is very important. He was the only one who can clear that fence on, I think, on his own will, and that can go a long way for Pakistan. But the fact is that then you need to define his role as well into the team as well. But Rizwan, this management question is very important. Like I just highlighted something, that what if I tell you that Usama is not fully fit? Even with the case of Abrar, he was made to bowl 25 overs in the first practice match before the test series started to Australia, and immediately broke down. Other players did not even play that game. So, smart management, workload management, whatever you want to call it, but why not a set criteria? I understand throughout the world there are even people who are not associated with cricket running the business affairs of cricket, but they've got a background of those roles as well. Even for coaching, there needs to be a criteria where a person, even if he's an international cricketer, has spent about good 5 to 10 years in the coaching manual, so he realizes how to go about things.
Funny that you mentioned fitness of Usama Mir. My answer would be, who is fit? Azam Khan? Is he fit? Babar Azam seems to have put on a bit of weight, because you haven't done fitness tests. Now that's a basic criteria. Would Azam Khan be selected in any other team in the world? Probably not. In leagues, yes. Similarly, would you have 3 spinners on a tour, on 2 different tours, and everybody is unfit? Abrar was unfit. Noman got, unfortunately he got, Sajid Khan wasn't fit for some of the occasion on that tour of Australia, and now Usama isn't fit. Shadab is also unfit. This just shows your level of fitness, that if your fast bowlers apart, the spinners are not even fit. Not 1 out of 5 is currently fit. Similarly, for fast bowlers, Haris Rauf hasn't got the capacity to bowl because or 20 overs in a test match, because he's not fit enough. We saw how Shaheen Afridi was struggling. The only person who bowled well in the test series was Hamza Mir and Amir Jamal, because they came back from first class cricket. They've been playing regularly. So that's the basic criteria. Your fitness levels are way out of line. They're nowhere to be close enough for good international cricket or to be competitive. And again, Hafiz being team director.
Rizwan, we're going to come back to that argument, but right after this short break. Stay tuned. Sports Extra. Ali Abbas, this injury phenomenon that Rizwan Haider has highlighted is something that has marred the Pakistan cricket team. Now, I can agree to some extent of the concept of workload management, but then again, if I look at some of the past players of Pakistan, they were playing even more matches in a domestic season than what these young guys are playing right now. But the fact is that smart management, whatever terminology we want to call it, has got to put a very basic question mark on the training routines or the fitness criteria of the Pakistan cricket team.
Yeah, like I think Rizwan Bhai made some really good points over there. I personally, I've not been a big fan of how Mohammad Hafiz and Wahab Riaz have operated, but I will say one thing: it's been such a quick turnaround from the ODI World Cup to the Test series, and from the Test series to these New Zealand series, that if you try to impose strict fitness standards, I think maybe 2 or 3 of the team members would be qualifying. I think Mohammad Rizwan might be one. Shan Masood, who's not even a part of the T20 squad, might be one. So I think the fact that we have a series after series after series, we're not really able to implement those standards. Maybe introduce the yo-yo test again. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And these things have been inherited by the current management regime of the PCB or the cricket team, which is why it's happening. I think talking about Osama Mir in particular and injuries, I don't know about you, but if I have to pick between Osama Mir and Mohammad Nawaz in T20 cricket, I will pick Mohammad Rizwan each and every day just because of what he brings to the table. A consistent line and length, and a very handy batsman as well. I do not know why an unfit Osama Mir is being shoved into the team, especially when Shadab is not playing and Mohammad Nawaz is sitting out. Okay, I know there's been a lot said about Mohammad Nawaz in terms of him being the match winner and costing Pakistan the games, but if you look at his T20 record, it's not that bad. I don't know why we're carrying on from the damage that we had in the ODI World Cup, and we're bringing it into this T20 World Cup that we're about to have. Osama Mir in the team, no Mohammad Nawaz in the team. Osama Mir's fitness, his fielding, the way he runs on the pitch, it's so disappointing that it seems like the current regime is just clueless about a lot of things. I hope some sanity prevails and we're able to bring in Mohammad Nawaz. Okay, I get it that you cannot guarantee the fitness of all 11 players at the moment, right? But at least play the best possible 11. Play them, give them a chance. But it's disappointing because we're changing a lot of things now. The PSL is going to come in. The PSL is going to come in. One another youngster is going to have a fantastic tournament. We're going to make a few more changes in England, and then by the time we reach West Indies or the US for the T20 World Cup, once again the squad is going to be completely shattered. So one thing is not having the required fitness standards, but the other thing is having a plan. And at the moment, it seems like just like our current chairman does not really have a plan. If he would be a part of the PCB management committee in another 2 months, I think Mohammad Hafiz and Wahab Riaz are carrying on with the same insecurity.
Well, I think, and it's pretty eminent, because when you don't have consistency in your management, it will definitely be a trickle-down effect for the team as well. And that is for everybody to see. I think we cannot shy away from the fact that there are clearly problems right now with everybody knowing. That's why I say that 5th of February date is very important. If there is no extension into this cricket committee, whoever comes, what is going to be the policy then? And I understand that we might have our differences with certain individuals where we think that they're not right for the job, but the fact is that even they need consistent time to prove themselves. And that's why the threshold is very important, that me and Rizwan have often talked about, that if you want to analyze a player, give him a certain number of games and bring him on a certain number of games as well. Don't just immediately draft him into the side and expect results. That's never going to happen. But Sabit, Ali mentions a very important point. The fact is that we will have a PSL next month. A couple of performances would be there on display, and automatically they will be eyeing the World Cup in there as well.
There will be. It will be a wonderful opportunity for a couple of youngsters to play, a PSL, perform in PSL. Then you will be selected for the national team. I mean, not for the T20 squad, but also for the test matches we have seen in the past. So this is a luxury in PCB. You can be selected on the performances of T20. So you will be selected for the test matches. I mean, but it's very unfortunate. You need to select the players for the as far as the format is concerned. Specialists are very important. Like we have seen Abid Ali, Azhar Ali as well. Mohammad Abbas for the test matches. And same for the T20s as well. So it will be interesting to see how the new PCB chairman again after 5th Feb. If it will happen. Again, he will be having a new lobby, new team management, new selection committee. So this basically really affect as far as the players are concerned. Again, so from top management, whatever the role kind of they have been playing, so it basically directly, you know, affect the players' performance. I mean, they're not sure. Like Rizwan rightly asked, I mean, from the PCB chairman. So I mean, what would be the, you know, World Cup squad? I mean, so things are, you know, getting worse for Pakistan. We have seen before any major event, before the World Cup, either you're playing for T20 or the ODI World Cup, you have to have, you know, some kind of controversies. This happens in Pakistan only. So I mean, it will be interesting to see how, you know, the rest of 3 matches will be played. The team selection is very important. Again, I would say Mohammad Rizwan, I must rightly said, Mohammad Rizwan should be, you know, keeping the wickets. I mean, Haris Rowe's, you know, role is very important. Like Aqib Javed, he has been kept saying for so many years that Haris Rauf is not a new ball bowler. Again, he has been tested and tried for ODIs. He has been, you know, hammered out of the park in so many matches against smaller teams, I would say. Then again, he has been, you know, bowling again with a new ball. So this has to be learned very quickly, because he is your, you know, major weapon as far as the West Indies, you know, slow pitches are concerned. Reverse swing will be very crucial for Pakistan. It will be interesting to see if Umar Gul, you know, will you know, continue as far as the bowling coach is concerned. So you know, his skills very important for transformation to the youngsters. I mean, because you need to have a genuine fast bowler, but again, you need to have a proper line of length. I mean, if you do not have a proper line of length, your 150, 152 is basically useless, I would say. Shoaib Akhtar, Brett Lee, we have seen Sean Tate as well. They had a sheer. They used to have a, you know, a wonderful pace, but they basically had to have, you know, some kind of a control as far as the bowling is concerned. So your line is very important. Forget if you have, you know, 130, 140. Look at Tim Saudi, Adam Millen as well. You know, look at New Zealand bowlers. I mean, they are experienced bowlers. They do not have the pace, but again, they are hitting the right length. I mean, this is the role of Pakistani bowlers. Again, the bowling coach.
Interesting was the arguments that I saw. Williamson mentioned in both games when he was asked, Rizwan, that you know, you were pretty even Stevens in between the game and Pakistan did pretty well, and he had only one thing to say, that we realized that because of the ground dimension and everything, the bowlers would be hammered, but we knew that the critical phase to take wickets is over numbers 7 to 15, and that's where we knew if we can get a couple of wickets, we'll win the game. So I mean, that's the amount of planning that goes into and strategy that goes into every game for certain sides. While for us, I think we're more on a evolution basis, that with each passing over, we'll develop our strategies and planning. Rizwan, yes.
Me, okay. Well, I think it would have been much better had Williamson said this before the game, you know, so that we would have realized what to do about it, because Hafiz is clueless.
No, but that happened. In the first toss, Shaheen was asked, why are you bowling first? And he said, because we want to stick to the ground results, what the ground
Yes,
tells
and
us.
we learned a lot from the
No, but
from
the
that
fact
result.
was that the difference of winning the toss, batting first and bowling first, winning percentage, was just one game. So how could you pick between 11 and 12?
I mean, you know, it's 6 and 7, so it's just really, really silly. And, you know, basic rule of thumb, as I said earlier, is you win the toss, you bat. We're not doing
Simple.
that. That just shows that we are scared of losing. And that's, you know, that's the reason we lost the Test series at home to Australia. We lost Test series at home at England. That's the reason we lost the World Cup. We were not competitive at all. We lost the even if you win the first 2 games, we were completely clueless against the good teams: Australia, England, India, New Zealand, South Africa. New Zealand we did well, but even then we conceded 400 runs batting, and it was only Fakhr's brilliance that saved the game for us. So, you know, you need to get the basics right. You need to have a fitness level. You can't go in a tournament with a 7-man opening squad, but nobody in the middle. You can't have 3 spinners, 4 spinners all injured. You don't have bench strength. The problem for me in the last 2 years has been, which Ahmed was arguing with me, is that we've just had a nucleus of 8 or 9 players playing every format. We have been unable to develop a bench strength because we haven't given chances to people. I've always said, you know, we're down 2-0. It would have been brilliant had Babar Azam and Rizwan both not played the game and still lost Pakistan, but you would have shown that, you know, what Sahib Zada Farhan is capable of, what Saim is capable of, what the other people are capable of, what Abrar or whatever. But and Shaheen could himself have dropped himself, or Haris Rauf, and given a chance to Zaman Khan. So at least you know what your bench strength. India has got 4 or 5 T20s before the World Cup. We've got about 15. We've got England, we've got Netherlands, we've got this series. But we're going to keep on playing the same team. India is dropping everyone left, right and center and developing new players. That's how Shubman Gill came in. That's how Ishan Kishan, Tilak, Verma. You know, all of these people have come in because KL Rahul has been rested, Virat Kohli has been rested. We are scared of, resting Babar. We are scared of resting Iftikhar. We are scared of resting Rizwan. And that's the reason of our continued failures. And I think until and unless you give them a rest and give the others a chance, you're good. It doesn't matter if you keep on losing. We were number 1 before the Asian Games and the World Cup, and we are now down to number 4 or 5 because, you know, it was the same nucleus. One injury, we are one injury away from disaster. Naseem Shah,
yeah, and
injured,
the whole World Cup collapse.
And you're out.
Yes,
you don't have a backup.
But Rizwan, even the games that are coming after this as well. If I look, Pakistan is in total, including this 5-match series, they're playing 18 T20 internationals before the World Cup. Now the next they've got a series against, they'll be playing West Indies. Then in a similar tour, they're playing England, Ireland and the Netherlands. So probably against Ireland and the Netherlands, a lot of these players are going to come back in form and make it to the World Cup
Exactly,
squad.
that's the problem. That's the problem. You know, it's pointless to have 18 one-day internationals or T20s if you're not going to give the youngsters a chance. If you're going to go with the same combination, I don't mind Rizwan and Babar even opening in the World Cup, but at least give somebody else a chance before that to prove himself. If he's a failure, fine. If he's good for Pakistan, it succeeds, then you can try him in the World Cup. But if Babar is going to insist and Rizwan is going to insist that, you know, I'm going to be at number 1 or number 2 and don't give a chance, and suddenly Babar gets injured or Rizwan gets injured, then we're clueless. So we need to have backups, and that's how you develop bench strength, by playing different players.
Ali Abbas, like I said, including this, you're playing 18 games. In this very squad, we're also carrying Hasibullah, we're also carrying Zaman Khan, we're also carrying Saibzada Farhan, who's the most improved cricketer with an average that was phenomenal in the national T20 and a strike rate of above 180. But the fact is that the only way to play him in that order, which it suits him the most, and the team was the opening or 1 down, and you had to rest either Babar or Rizwan for that fact. Now, once you're 2-0 down in the series, you're shying away from making experiments. But then again, which series is the best for Pakistan to make something like this happen?
I think Pakistan have experimented a lot in this series as well. I don't agree with my fellow panelists because Osama Mir has not been a consistent part of the T20 team. Fakhar has not been a consistent part of the T20 team over the last 2 years. Amir Jamal has not been a consistent part. Saim Ayub has not been a consistent part. Azam Khan has not been a consistent part. Amir Jamal, Abbas Afridi just made his debut. So like those are 6 players who maybe haven't been a part of the team. Like Fakhar, okay, he's been in there for a while, but everyone knows how Babar and Rizwan hijacked a spot. So I think we've tried a few youngsters, and like I mentioned, I mean, you've rested Shadab, right? That's probably one. But if you talk about giving players a chance, I think Pakistan have given a significant number of players a chance, and I would hope that we stick around with Saim Ayub and Azam Khan for the entire series. Tell them that you have another 3 matches, make your mark, and rest maybe Babar or Rizwan. But I wouldn't be too critical on Pakistan right now for not giving the young players a chance at the moment. I mean, if I maybe just just throw it back to you, if you have maybe 2 to 3 players sitting on the bench that you feel could be playing right now in this team or who deserve a chance. I mean, yes, you just brought up the name of Hasibullah. I'm sure he's going to get a game. So, I mean, we're losing. So when you're losing, people are not happy. We're not happy. I agree. I do feel that once Naseem and Shadab are back into the team, we'll be winning a lot more games. But other than that, I'm not too concerned in terms of the youngsters getting a chance or not. I mean, having seen these 6 players come back to the team, the batting order changing, I think hopefully we continue that against West Indies and England as well. But for now, it's not that bad if we just talk about experimentation and giving the youngsters a chance. But yeah, that's my take on it.
Right, definitely. Sabir, if I am to analyze the next games that are Pakistan, probably, you know, the highest number of T20s they'll be playing is against England, where they play 4 T20s. Otherwise, if you look at the West Indies, Ireland, like I said, 18 T20s in total right before the World Cup. We are all agreeing on the fact that we don't want a similar case that we would be the last team to announce the World Cup squad. Whoever has to play the World Cup squad and which role he has to be given has to be decided at least 2 months before the tournament.
It is, and it should be decided. You know, I would love to see, you know, a couple of changes, especially in the third T20. I mean, Rizwan rightly said. I mean, it's basically we are happy to, you know, lose the series since we are, you know, trying youngsters. I mean, again we are seeing the same kind of approach playing Rizwan, you know, Babar, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Rauf. I mean, Iftikhar Ahmed as well. So I mean, then why you have included Hasibullah? Why you have included Saibzada Farhan? Because they are the, you know, top performers as far as the domestic circuit is concerned. I mean, it will be interesting to see, you know, how basically the coaching staff will be, you know, again selecting the team for the for the third T20. I have basically realized that we have always kind of a fear of losing. I mean, that is the reason Babar Azam basically played against Netherlands. I mean, Mohammad Rizwan basically played, Naseem Shah, Shaheen, a couple of more senior players. They are basically playing against the Minnows as well. He has basically given, Rizwan has given, the examples of Indian team basically. They have, bunch of players. I mean, they have the, numerous kind of, backups as far as Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma is concerned. They have found, found more youngsters because they have given a couple of chances against West Indies.
Invested in the system, we can
in
say.
fact, they have lost the series. They have lost the series against India, but again they basically found a couple of more youngsters likes of Tilak Verma, Rinku Singh as well. Ravi Bishnoi, I would say he's the number one T20 bowler as well.
Absolutely.
So the same thing basically Pakistan needs to do.
I think the fact is that they lost the World Cup final. They still have the same consistent squad and the skipper, so it didn't go haywire there. They're believing in the process. But Rizwan, my final question to you is to let sanity prevail as well. Majority of our dismissals have been trying to clear the odd boundary. We have to first of all realize we're not England and we're not Australia. We've got different dynamics. Until we figure them out, there's got to be a subtle way of playing T20 cricket as well.
Well, you play to your strengths. We're not doing that. We're trying to copy what India is doing in the batting. Clearing the fence, Australia and England. You need to be aggressive in the field. You need to be aggressive in running between the wickets. We need to learn that from Javed Miandad, examples like Ricky Ponting, Javed Miandad, who were very, very efficient in the running. It's just not about hitting boundaries. Basics of cricket, yes, in T20 you need boundaries, you need sixes and fours, but you need to convert your twos into threes, your ones into twos, and that's the way you put pressure on the fielders. We're not doing that. We're very comfortable taking a single. Rotation of strike is very important. Even if you're not getting a boundary, you need to make sure that you get 3 or 4 singles every over because it puts pressure on the bowlers. They need to adjust the fielding if it's a left-right combination or different batsmen have different strengths. So we need to do that. We're not doing that, and this is where the coaching comes in. This is where drills come in for the coaching, how you do. I mean, our players are coming in from first-class cricket and learning to run between the wickets in international stage. That's just not on. You need to do that in the camps. You need to do that in club cricket. And until unless we do that, we're going to be struggling. And I can tell you the way we are, even if we you see, the problem is if we play our best team and still losing, it's better to give the youngsters a chance and lose, and then you have an excuse.
Absolutely. Well, Rizwan, Sabir and Ali Abbas, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully Pakistan, they play the third T20 International on Wednesday at Dunedin. Hopefully we can make a comeback. We are the champions of comeback, we know that already, but we're again the champion of collapse as well. So you need to figure out which direction you want to be heading. That wraps up Sports Extra. For me and my entire team, it's goodbye for now.